going into first team management at Rangers. What was your thought process, and did you try and stick to those principles, or did you want to maybe develop your own unique style? I'm just interested on the process there, going back to Glasgow.
Well, it was a completely different staff, because obviously Stephen had taken his staff. Joe Van Bronckhorst, I felt, did a wonderful job at taking his staff, and I think Gio probably deserved more time for what he had achieved, because there was a lot of turnover, and the similar situation happened to myself. But I was asked to go back in to recreate that good feeling and to get the team back playing the way it was previously. So I went in and worked with the players that were there. In the winter, we brought in Nico Raskin, a young Belgium under-21 international. We paid early to get him. It was a free, but we paid around 800,000 to get him. And we brought Todd Campbell in on a completely free transfer. So we added 2 players to it, but there wasn't much change from the squad, from Gio's squad to my squad. There was still probably 21 players in the building that were there under Stephen. And we started off fantastic. I think they were happy to see me back. We won 18, drew 1, lost 1 of the first 20 games, which is remarkable. But at the time, Ange Postecoglou was 9 points clear. We managed to get 2 points back, and they were the team that beat us in the cup final and the semi-final as well. So it was a sore ending to the season. But we'd won 80% of the games. The winning percentage was 80% at the end of the season. So out of 29 games, we'd won 23. So going into the summer, you were very optimistic about the new season. Unfortunately, around April time, the sporting director left, Ross Wilson, which was a big thing for me, because Ross and Stuart Robertson, the CEO, they were people that I knew from the time I was there with Stephen. So they were 2 of the guys, along with John Bennett, the current chairman, that met me to speak about me coming back. And the offer was less than the offer that I had at QPR to stay. So again, this was made with a heart, but I knew I had those guys around me. I also knew the academy manager really well, and the head of coaching in the academy, Zed Jacobs, was someone that I identified for the club. So I felt like I was just going back into a club where I knew everybody. But around the April time, Ross left. The CEO, Stuart Robertson, was leaving as well. The academy manager was leaving in the summer. The chief scouts all left. And I found myself in a situation that wasn't one I would have signed up to in November. It's changed, Christy. I love Rangers Football Club and the time I had there. But when I went in, we were really pushing. Then come the summer, a lot changed. 17 players left. A lot of those players left because financially it was better for them to move on a free transfer than stay. I think what I learned in the second time at Rangers is that the wage bill had really increased from the time that I was there with Stephen, and it had to come down. So at the end of the season, when we had so many big earners out of contract, our offer to them was nowhere near going to be as strong as the offer for them to leave. So 9 players come in, 17 left. In that, the front 6 players, if you like, all the forwards, all left. Out of those who left, the only one that I really didn't want to leave, I had any power over, was Fashion Sakara, who'd done really well for me, but he had an offer to triple his wages, and the club had an offer that a player they bought him for free to take the best part of 4 million to go. So that was frustrating. The other guys all wanted to leave. So there wasn't like you were holding anybody back. We tried to buy Malik Tillman, who was a big player for us, but Bayern Munich trumped us, and part of the agreement was we could make an offer, they could buy him back. So we went into the season with a lot of change. And unfortunately, I think that there had to be a greater awareness, but I wasn't willing to say that publicly. But of course, when you change the amount of players we did, it was going to take time. The new season come, we won 8, drew 2, lost 4, and I left. I think that if we'd have explained a bit better about the process we were going through, it could have prolonged. But it's sad the way that it ended for me personally. But, I'm listening and looking at what the chairman's come out and said now for Philippe Clement, which I think is really important, because we didn't communicate like that last year when the situation was exactly the same. Rangers needed a bit of a turnover of players, and financially the wages with getting in the Champions League and the bonuses and the increases players got. So that had to come down again. And I think they're the things that people don't see. So, for the young students that are listening that, maybe want to follow that pathway, what's my skills? What are my skills? My skills are coaching and managing and developing football players. I was thrust into a situation that was a little bit alien to all the skills that I had. Thankfully for me, the new CEO, James Bisgrove, he did all the contract negotiations, all the financial stuff. That wasn't anything that I was involved in, how much we were paying for players or wages. But certainly in that period, from probably April through to the time that I left Rangers in October, I wasn't able to spend as much time on the training pitch as I had before, with just basically being pulled by the losing of a sporting director and CEO at that time was crucial to me. So any young manager starting out, those things are really important.
Everything that you see on this channel, from the scripts to the interviews to the thumbnails, etc., is all off my own back. And to help the channel grow and to help me out, could you please click the subscribe button down below? It's absolutely free to do. And the more subscribers we get on this channel, the bigger the guests and the bigger the entertainment is for you to have some great insights to explore some of the things that are happening within the sporting world. So please click the subscribe button down below if you haven't already. Do you feel you're a victim of your own success because you did so well at your first phase at Rangers, and then you mentioned all these turmoil factors are happening, and there's an expectation for you to come in and continue that form that was there originally, and then Rangers have obviously had that Europa League run, and there's either added expectation there. Do you feel like that was maybe something that impacted you in terms of the pressure to succeed during that time?
Maybe, but listen, you kind of it both ways. You can't take the job without any pressure. They're big clubs, 50,000+ every week amount of people. It's an important football club for a lot of people. What I think is, when you look at, Van Bronckhorst, he won the Scottish Cup and got to Europa League final, was a penalty kick away from winning it. So for him to lose his job and qualify for the Champions League after that, for him to lose his job early was a surprise. When it was me that the club reached out to and offered the job to, even though I was surprised by that, and that there's a warning sign in that there's not much patience, you still want to take that opportunity yourself. And the first period was good. I think that from the summer, losing 15 or 16 players and the main players in the final third, it's not rocket science to say that the next team's not going to start the season, everything will be plain sailing. It's not like you get every player the first day of pre-season. I also probably wasn't aware the finances weren't what they were when I was there with Stephen. We was able to spend a bit more. Now it was about spending and selling to make the net spend low and bring the wages down. So, look, I think they're all a part of management. Coaching and management are two completely different things. That's what I'd say. And I think with the sporting director there and the CEO and the academy manager and the head scouts that were when I first went into the club, it enabled me to coach, which was my skill set, and have an opinion on these other things. And look, it's not a victim of your own success. I think that at this moment in time, financially, Rangers are second best. So you're trying to play snookers to catch up and get in front of Celtic anyway. So you know that you need time to build. I think I left with a 73% win percentage. So even though I'd fallen down from the 80% at the end of the season, there was in my eyes, the team would have kicked on. It's fine, I've left. I'm now a supporter of the club, and I really wish the new manager well. I can see some similarities from the start of Stephen's period to the start of Gio's, which ended short, mine, and now Phil's, and I just wish him all the best, and I wish him every success for sure.